What you're about to hear will make your blood boil. WWE management has been lying to your face for months, and I've got the smoking gun that proves it. While you've been spending your hard-earned money on tickets, merchandise, and WWE Network subscriptions, thinking you're watching authentic competition, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar have been playing you like fools behind closed doors. Last Monday at WWE Raw in Chicago, something happened that WWE desperately hoped would never see the light of day. But I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. And what I witnessed backstage will shatter everything you thought you knew about the so-called rivalry between the Tribal Chief and the Beast Incarnate. Picture this, it's 7:47 p.m., just 23 minutes before Raw goes live. The backstage area is buzzing with typical pre-show chaos. Superstars getting last-minute instructions, production crew running final checks, catering staff cleaning up the aftermath of another wrestler food fight. But in the depths of the Allstate Arena, in a secluded corridor near the loading dock that most people don't even know exists, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar were having a conversation that would make every WWE fan sick to their stomach. I'm talking about a 15-minute exchange that completely destroys the narrative WWE has been shoving down our throats since WrestleMania 38. You remember that night, don't you? When Roman supposedly unified the titles by defeating Brock in the main event? When commentary was screaming about how this was the culmination of their legendary rivalry? Complete garbage. Here's what really happened in that backstage meeting, and I'm warning you right now, if you're one of those fans who still believes WWE storylines are legitimate competition, you might want to click away because this is going to ruin wrestling for you forever. Roman walked up to Brock with a smirk that would make The Rock jealous, and the first words out of his mouth were, "You ready for another fake fight, Paul?" Paul. He called Brock Lesnar by his real name, Paul, like they were old college buddies planning a weekend barbecue. And Brock's response? He laughed. This supposed monster, this beast who's supposed to be Roman's greatest rival, was giggling like a schoolgirl. But it gets worse. So much worse that I almost didn't believe my own eyes and ears. Brock pulls out his phone and starts showing Roman what looked like architectural blueprints. Not match notes. Not training footage. Blueprints. And Roman's nodding along, pointing at different sections of these documents like they're planning the construction of the next McMahon family mansion. The foundation work should be completed by December, Brock said, his voice carrying none of that intimidating growl we hear when he's cutting promos. But we need to make sure the zoning permits are approved before we break ground on the East Wing. The East Wing. What kind of wrestling rivals discuss zoning permits and East Wings? Roman's response made my jaw drop to the concrete floor. My cousin has connections with the city planning committee. We can fast-track the whole process if needed. Cousin. He was talking about helping Brock with some kind of real estate project, using family connections like their business partners instead of mortal enemies who'd been beating the hell out of each other for years. And then Roman did something that should make every single one of you demand a refund for every Roman Reigns match you've ever paid to see. He patted Brock on the shoulder, not an aggressive shove, not a threatening gesture, a friendly, buddy-buddy pat while saying, "Don't worry about the WWE stuff tonight. Creative already told me I'm going over clean. We can grab dinner after the show and discuss the contractor bids." Contractor bids. While you're sitting in the audience, emotionally invested in their rivalry, screaming yourself hoarse, these two are discussing contractor bids for what sounds like a joint business venture. They're not enemies. They're not even competitors. They're business partners using your passion for wrestling to line their own pockets. But the most infuriating part hasn't even come yet. Brock reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out a thick envelope. Not a contract envelope from WWE. Not fan mail. This thing was bulging with what looked like cash or documents, and he hands it to Roman while saying, "Here's your cut from the Montana deal." The mineral rights sale went through faster than expected. Mineral rights. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are apparently co-owners of some kind of mining operation in Montana while pretending to hate each other on television. Every spear, every F5, every "acknowledge me" promo has been a complete sham designed to distract you from the fact that these guys are getting rich together off the camera. Roman takes the envelope without even looking inside and slides it into his jacket. "Perfect timing," he says. "I need to transfer my portion to the offshore account before the quarterly taxes are due." Offshore account. The tribal chief, the man who claims to represent his family's legacy, is hiding money offshore like some kind of corporate tax dodger. At this point, I'm fighting every instinct to storm over there and confront them both. But I knew I needed to hear everything if I was going to expose this scandal to the WWE Universe. And thank God I stayed hidden, because what happened next makes everything else seem like child's play. Brock looks around to make sure nobody's listening. He obviously didn't notice me crouched behind a stack of equipment crates, and whispers, "Have you talked to Hunter about extending the rivalry through SummerSlam? The pay-per-view bonuses alone would cover the entire construction budget. Extending the rivalry for money. They're literally planning how long to fake their feud based on construction costs." Roman nods and responds, "Triple H already greenlit it. We're looking at least 6 more months of programs. Maybe a Hell in a Cell match if the quarterly projections look good. 6 more months of lying to your faces. 6 more months of you spending money on matches where the outcome is decided not by athletic competition, but by how much Roman and Brock need to fund their secret business ventures." Then Roman pulls out his own phone and shows Brock something on the screen. From my angle, I could see it was some kind of financial app, probably showing stock portfolios or investment accounts. "The crypto investments are performing better than expected," Roman says. "We should liquidate the Ethereum position before the next WWE event cycle." Cryptocurrency. These guys are day trading digital assets while you're debating on social media about who's the better wrestler. They're making more money manipulating cryptocurrency markets than they are from their WWE contracts, and they're using their fake rivalry as a smokescreen. But here's where it gets absolutely disgusting. Brock starts talking about how they need to amp up the social media heat before their next match. Not because they actually dislike each other, but because increased fan engagement drives up the pay-per-view buy rates, which increases our back-end percentages. They're manipulating your emotions on purpose. Every Twitter feud, every Instagram story, every interview where they talk trash about each other is carefully calculated to make you more invested so they can make more money. They're treating your passion like a commodity to be exploited. Roman then says something that should make every single WWE fan cancel their Peacock subscription immediately. "We should probably do something controversial next week to get the dirt sheets talking. Maybe I'll break character during your entrance, make it look like a real backstage altercation." Break character. He admitted they're playing characters. This whole tribal chief persona, the head of the table gimmick, the family legacy storyline, it's all an act. And they're willing to blur the lines between reality and fiction just to generate more buzz and make more money. Brock's response was even worse. "Good idea. I'll make sure to sell it like I'm legitimately pissed. Maybe throw a chair or something to make it look authentic." The boys in the truck can cut to commercial quickly to make it seem like a real incident. They're planning fake backstage incidents to work you into thinking their rivalry is more real than it actually is. Every time you see a breaking news report about Roman and Brock having legitimate heat, remember this conversation. It's all manufactured drama designed to keep you emotionally hooked. Too easy. Roman Reigns thinks manipulating your emotions is too easy. He's laughing at how gullible WWE fans are while depositing your hard-earned money into his offshore accounts and mineral rights investments. Brock's response made me want to throw my phone at the wall. That's what makes this business so profitable. As long as they keep believing in the storylines, we keep getting richer. And the best part is, even when people try to expose the business side, the fans just call it kayfabe and keep watching anyway. Keep watching anyway. They know that even when their behind-the-scenes business dealings get exposed, most fans will dismiss it as part of the show and continue supporting them financially. They're counting on your loyalty to excuse their deception. At this point, one of the production assistants walks by, and both Roman and Brock immediately switch back into character mode. Roman straightens his posture, puts on that serious tribal chief expression, and Brock starts doing those intimidating shoulder rolls he does before matches. The transformation was so sudden and so complete that it was like watching 2 different people. The production assistant stops and says, "Hey Roman, you're needed in makeup in 5 minutes. And Brock, wardrobe wants to double-check your gear." Both guys nod professionally, but the second the assistant walks away, they're back to their buddy-buddy dynamic. "See you out there," Roman says with a grin. "Try not to make it too obvious when you're pulling your punches during the spear spot." Pulling punches. Even their in-ring physicality is choreographed to minimize actual contact. Every time you wince thinking Roman got hurt taking an F5, or worry about Brock's safety during a Superman punch, you're being emotionally manipulated by actors. Brock chuckles and responds, "Don't worry, I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. I'll make it look brutal without actually connecting. Just make sure you remember to kick out at 2.9 during the false finish sequence." False finish sequence. They're discussing the match outcome and near falls like it's a movie script. Every moment of drama, every near fall that makes you jump out of your seat thinking the match might end, is predetermined theater designed to maximize your emotional investment. As they start walking toward the gorilla position, Roman turns back to Brock and says, "Oh, And don't forget we have that conference call with the accountants tomorrow morning about the tax implications of the Canadian property acquisition. Canadian property. These guys are building an international real estate empire while pretending to be enemies on television. They're probably making more money from their secret business ventures than from their WWE contracts. Brock nods and replies, already in my calendar. We should also discuss whether to incorporate the Montana operation as an LLC or keep it as a partnership for tax purposes. Tax purposes. While you're arguing online about who's the bigger draw between Roman and Brock, they're strategizing about corporate tax structures and asset protection. They're treating WWE like a side hustle while their real business is happening completely off your radar. And then, just before they disappear around the corner, Roman makes one final comment that proves everything I've been telling you. You know what's crazy? After all these years of fake fighting, we've made more money in the last 6 months from the business stuff than from our entire WWE careers combined. More money from business. Their secret investments and real estate deals are more profitable than being top WWE superstars. They're using their wrestling fame as a platform to make real money in legitimate business while keeping you distracted with manufactured entertainment. Brock's final response before they disappeared from sight was the nail in the coffin. That's the beauty of it. Let them think wrestling is our main focus while we build generational wealth behind the scenes. By the time we retire, the WWE money will seem like pocket change. Now, before you start typing angry comments about how I'm making this up or trying to ruin wrestling for everyone, let me ask you some serious questions. Have you ever wondered why Roman and Brock never seem to have legitimate injuries despite their supposedly brutal matches? Have you noticed how their rivalry always seems to coincidentally coincide with major WWE business announcements or contract negotiations? Have you questioned why two men who allegedly hate each other are always so professional and respectful during media interviews? The answers to these questions become crystal clear when you realize that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are business partners first and wrestling characters second. Every match, every promo, every social media interaction is carefully calculated to maximize profit for their joint ventures while minimizing the risk of actual physical harm. You're not watching a sport. You're not even watching entertainment based on athletic merit. You're watching an elaborate financial scheme disguised as professional wrestling, where the outcomes are determined by quarterly profit projections and investment opportunities rather than who trained harder or performed better. Every time you buy a Roman Reigns t-shirt, you're funding his offshore accounts. Every time you purchase a ticket to see Brock Lesnar, you're contributing to his mineral rights acquisitions. Every time you subscribe to Peacock to watch their matches, you're helping finance their Canadian property developments. They're not just taking your money for entertainment. They're using your passion for wrestling to build secret business empires that will make them wealthy long after their in-ring careers are over. And the most insulting part is that they think you're too naive to figure it out. But now you know the truth. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep supporting a system that treats your emotions like a commodity to be exploited? Are you going to continue paying premium prices for predetermined outcomes designed to maximize someone else's profit margins? Or are you going to demand better from the wrestling industry? Are you going to support promotions and wrestlers who respect your intelligence and provide legitimate athletic competition? Are you going to use your voice and your wallet to send a message that fans deserve honesty and authenticity? The truth is out there, hidden in plain sight, disguised as sports entertainment. But now that you've heard it, you can't unhear it. And neither can the thousands of other fans who are about to discover that their wrestling heroes have been playing them for fools. What you do with this information is up to you. But remember, every dollar you spend on WWE programming is a vote for this system to continue. Choose wisely.